We are asking our Shaykh to grant us support, to send us something that we can take, that we can put in our lives, that we can become better. Religion, tariqat, it is not to collect knowledge. It is not to collect knowledge. So many they get stuck there. They say, oh, ilm is most important. Ilm. Knowledge. Knowledge is not knowledge. It is the experience of the knowledge. Who can say otherwise? I dare any scholar, any shaykh to say you are wrong. It is wrong. It is not because of me that I'm saying right, but because of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. What he says is right. And what does he say? The best kind of knowledge is what? Say? The knowledge that you experience. The best kind of knowledge, the best kind of ilm, is the ilm that you experience. Not just knowledge that you don't experience. You're collecting, then you become a librarian. A librarian doesn't mean that you're a mu'min. You collect thousands of books on everything about religion in your house, it doesn't mean you're a better believer. Understand? What makes you into a more sincere believer? Whatever knowledge that you have, you practice, you put it in your lives. That is the reason of sohbat. That is why sohbat, it is not to spread more and more knowledge. If you look everywhere, people are spreading knowledge about Islam, isn't it? When you look at it, the activities of book knowledge, zahir knowledge Islam, is more this time than it was 5 years ago, or 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. More and more people are learning, more and more people are spreading, more and more people they are knowing all aspects of Islam, isn't it? That is knowledge, including spiritual Islam. But to study spiritual Islam, that is contradiction in terms. You don't study spirituality. You experience it. You experience your spirit. And in this way, to experience your spirit, it is to remove all obstacles that is choking your spirit. That time when your spirit is free, you will experience it. And what are the things that chokes your spirit? First is nafs. Nafis. What's next? Hawa, your desires. The nafs is that ego that is saying, I am Lord. I am most important. Everything must obey me. Hawa is desire. And that desire can be something that is material or something that is not material. Desire doesn't mean just money. Some people, they don't have a desire for money, but they desire power. Some people, they don't desire power, they desire fitna. You understand? Some people, they desire confusion. They like it. So, desire. Nafis, hawa, shaitan. Shaitan. What is shaitan? Shaitan, that is an enemy to man. He is an open enemy. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in Surah Al-Yasin. You remember that ayat? We listen to it every morning. O children of Adam, have I not commanded you not to worship shaitan, because he is an enemy manifest. He is an open enemy to you. If you have an open enemy, you're going to watch where your enemy is coming from, correct? Where your enemy is, where it's coming from, where it's attacking. Open enemy. How many Muslims now that they are busy with the enemy of shaitan? That every day they are thinking, where shaitan is attacking me today? From here, from here, from here. Shaitan, as Shaykh Efendi says, is not the enemy of the donkey. It is the enemy of man. Shaitan is not an enemy of Allah or the angels. It is the enemy of man. It is because of man that Allah had created man that Shaitan became jealous and he disobeyed Allah. If it wasn't that man was created, he's thinking to himself, I would not fall into such low position. Because his desire, we talk about Hawa, his desire is that Maqam al-Mahmud. He wants that Maqam al-Mahmud. So, Shaitan, no one is really talking about them. From Shaykhs to Imams to Ustaz, no one is talking, no one is understanding. Because now when you talk about Shaitan, it's not what the Disney is talking about Shaitan and depicting Shaitan to be. One cartoon figure with two horns on his head, one tail and goat legs, going around with a spear in his hand. And now, if we are concentrating on Shaitan, we have to know that Shaitan has a physical form that is physically he's not showing now. There's no permission now for him to show himself physically. But the Shaitan will appear what? Inside of the man. There are people now. Shaitan is not going to appear inside of a fish. Okay? Or a tree. Or an animal. There are some that are mixed up, but they cannot do too much. Compared to the Shaitan that comes through a man. Where are we taking this from? Where are we taking this from? Yeah, but where are we taking this from? That Shaitan, where we know that Shaitan is in the appearances of a man. Well, you're all sleeping today. I thought I was sleeping today. Recite Suratul Nas. We're asking protection from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from Shaitan. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Kul a'udhu rabbin nas, malikin nas, ilahin nas. Min shari waswasil hannas alladhi waswisu fi sudurin nas minal jinnati wan nas. The shaitans, that is from the jinns and also from the man, from the ins, from the nas. So there are people now who are shaitanic people. Are we being busy looking at who are shaitanic peoples and running away from them? No. Muslims are not being busy with that. If they are not going to fall into such a heedless situation now where they're doing everything that is shaitanic. When it comes to situations like that, purity or guarding their own purity of faith, most important thing they say, for example, eat zabiha. We become like now Yahudis. For them, the most important thing is kosher in a lot of ways. For them, it's okay. Just eat zabiha. Very, very important. If you don't do that, you're a bad Muslim, this and this and this. They don't understand now the situation behind the situation we are now and everything. But we have now to look. If we're asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protection from shaitan, that we begin anything, we say what? A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. You think shaitan is just this spiritual figure around you? Jinn and nas. And this times, the jinns, they don't appear. No need for them so much because nas, mankind, has turned shaitanic. So be busy with the shaitanic people. Don't say, I am better than them. Shaitanic people, shaitanic activities they may do. Allah created them human, but they choose that way. Their actions are wrong. Don't think yourself that you are better than them. Run away from their actions, run away from them. But say to yourself, if Allah lets my leash a little bit loose, I'm going to be worse than them. That time you balance, you will check. There are shaitanic people. Shaitan will not be able to rule. Every ruler needs a what? Every ruler needs a ruler. Every ruler needs a what? Called a kingdom. Isn't it? Every ruler needs a kingdom. You're all sleeping today. So now, there is a kingdom now of shaitan. Meaning there is a system of shaitan. Are we being busy looking to the system of shaitan? Or are we saying, it's okay. What system? Everyone is the same. Everyone is equal. Everyone is okay. There's no bad or right. There's no good or bad. There is no shaitan or angels. Everyone is the same. That time you lose your religion. So now if you understand there is a kingdom of shaitan, you're going to run away from the kingdom of shaitan. You're going to say, like what Shaykh Maulana Shaykh Efendi said, if you smoke one cigarette, with one cigarette you're supporting the kingdom of shaitan. If you do anything wrong, you're supporting the kingdom of shaitan. And now look around you. This is the kingdom. Shaitan has set up his kingdom complete in this world, isn't it? Who can say otherwise? So now you're going to run away from the kingdom of shaitan. Shaitan. And the last one is what? Dunya. Oh good, at least you're listening. Dunya. And this dunya is this world. Dunya is this world. It covers everything. It makes a man to think that there was no yesterday and there is no tomorrow. There's no past and there's no future. The present is all we have. We must live according to the present. The presence of what? The presence of Allah? No. The presence of what you touch, you see, you feel, you taste, everything that is around you, that is under your feet. But the dunya that is supposed to be under your feet, if you take it and you put it above your head, that time you are lost in the dunya. So now, shaitan is an open enemy. The enemy that you must take care of. There's so many corporations, systems, regimes, they are shaitanic. That is an open enemy. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying in Surah Al-Yasin, O son of Adam, didn't I command you, didn't you make a promise that you will not worship shaitan, who is an open enemy? Now let me ask you, which one is more dangerous? An open enemy or a hidden enemy? Understanding? A hidden enemy is more dangerous. And who is that hidden enemy? Your ego, your nafs. And if you're not learning about your hidden enemy, you think that enemy is a friend. So many people say, I don't even know what ego is. Until I start listening to you, then I understand. That's true. Because before you thought those ones around you, they were your friends. Then slowly you start to realize, you start to be intelligent, and you say, these are not my friends. Because they are existing to destroy me. So now this is your hidden enemy. And this is your nafs. And once you try to understand your nafs, once you try to control your nafs, that's the time your spirit can be free. Then that time we don't care whether we experience spiritual things or not. That's our spirit's business with Him and Allah. Our responsibility now is to remove the things, the chains, like what Shaykh Efendi says, that chain us from one. Nafis, put a chain through our hand, one chain. Hawa through another chain. Shaitan and dunya from one leg and another, and we are chained. Cut off those chains. The spirit now can be free. And when the spirit is free, there's no more talk. You're not going to sit around bragging to each other, I saw this color. Oh, you see, did you see this color? No, I saw this saint. Did you see? That is all ego anyway. But now to discover the hidden enemy, this is when you need a master. You need a doctor. The hidden enemy is inside of you. You need a doctor to take out that virus, that disease. You've been living with that cancer all your life. You don't know it's a cancer. All you know is you feel hungry and you like to eat a lot. But there is something that is calling that. So now you see a doctor and the doctor says it is there. Now what are you going to do once you find that? You have to obey and you have to submit to that doctor. Then slowly he's going to give a cure to you. What is the greatest disease? The greatest disease is the greatest sin. And what is the greatest sin in Islam? Shirk. How you see now tariqat, tasawwuf, everything is coming back to what? La ilaha illallah. To purify your faith. To purify your shahadat. Nothing else. To purify your shahadat, to get rid of all ilahs, all manners of shirk, and to only have ahad. And the shirk, the one who declares himself a partner, is the ego. You understanding? So to get rid of that, to control that, then that is important. That is very, very important. Once you find a master, he's going to train you to get rid of this hidden shirk that is so difficult to spot. As Holy Prophet ﷺ said, a hidden shirk, it is more difficult to spot, to find, than a black ant on a black rock in the darkest part of the night. Now, this is when you need someone, and this someone is representing the Prophet to help you with that. That time your spirit can be free. And that time we can return to our Lord, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, while we are still living in this world. Wa min Allahu tawfiq, may Allah forgive me and bless all of you for the sake of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. We are entering, inshallah, into the month of Rajab, the month of Allah. So many Wahhabi squareheads are going to say, don't say that month of Allah. Every month is the month of Allah. So what? Every day is the day of Allah. What doesn't belong to Allah? Everything belongs to Allah, isn't it? So Rajab, Shahrullah, a very holy month. And in that holy month, there is one day in the first part of the month that is very, very holy to the Prophet ﷺ. And there is one day in the last part of the month that is very, very holy to the Prophet ﷺ. You sit and you think, you're going to know, you're going to open. All you have to do is, it's right there in front of you. One is commemorating and celebrating his nur coming into this world. And the other is celebrating and understanding where he exits from this world to meet Allah and to be circling around in all of existence and for one ray of his reality to come back. What is that day, that night that we welcome his light into this world? That is called Laylatul Raghaib, the first Thursday night of the month of Rajab. That so many Muslims, they have forgotten this tradition. Except for some, Turkey especially, those holding on to all tariqats, they understand and they're celebrating Laylatul Raghaib, when the marriage between Hazrati Abdullah and Hazrati Amina, the parents of the Prophet ﷺ, and the light was then transferred from the father to the mother. Laylatul Raghaib, very important, very holy night. And tariqats, they were holding that night very special, and they were holding a lot of prayers, a lot of ceremonies, a lot of du'as, a lot of reading. And the night of Mi'raj, that is on the 27th of Rajab, that we are commemorating when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala invited his Prophet ﷺ to divine presence. One is the Prophet is sent to mankind, and the other is when the Prophet is sent back to his Lord, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the beginning and the end. There are secrets beyond secrets for that. Sit and understand. This is also good in this month. If you can, fast Monday and Thursday. It's good to fast the first day of the month. It's good to fast the middle few days of the month, the 1 day or 3 days, and the last days of the month. If you want to fast 2 times a week, Mondays and Thursdays, it is very highly recommended. Any Monday and Thursday in the year. Thursday is a holy day entering into Jummah, and Monday is the day that the Holy Prophet ﷺ, he was born. So you celebrate his Mawlid then if you fast. And especially in this month of Rajab, Sha'ban and Ramazan, it is very highly recommended that you do that. And there are so many hadiths that describes the tremendous blessings of fasting in the month of Rajab, Sha'ban and Ramazan. How it will help you defeat your ego, how it will help you raise your spiritual station, how it will help you to gain more sawab, more blessings that we need, and more rahmat that we need in this time. And in these holy months that we are entering, the month of Allah, Rajab, the month of the Prophet ﷺ, Sha'ban, which you have the holy day of the Nisf Sha'ban, Laylatul Bara'at, Shabi Bara'at, on the 15th, that is the day of accounting, where your Barat is going to be given for you, your grade is going to be given to you. You go for final examination, that is what's going to happen. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us enough time before the final grades are sent for us to clean ourselves. You're in school, you don't study whole year, you play whole year, but exam is going to come. So one night before that you study whole night. Allah understanding His creatures also, giving holy days before that to clean ourselves up. And then Rajab, Sha'ban, Ramazan, the month of fasting, where it is hidden the night of power, Laylatul Qadr. So in these 3 holy months also traditionally in the Dergahs, in the Taqiyas, the Shaykhs would send their murids into seclusion, depending how long it is. It is important to go into seclusion. Seclusion is not to go to seclusion to get more power. Like some people, they go into seclusion in the middle of the jungle to get more power, right? Or they go to a river. Meditation. It is not that kind. That is still nafs. You understand? That is still a dunya. But here you go into seclusion to say, now I enter into my grave. I'm not coming out. You enter into seclusion not to gain extra power, not to go to higher stations. Enter into seclusion with the intention that you are ridding this world, one more evil, useless person, ajis and najis person, which is you. So enter into that seclusion. There are certain amounts of zikrs and other things that you have to do. So these days you're not going to enter unless the Shaykh gives permission, because it's not something that you can play around with, also seclusion. But the awliya Allah, they make things easy, knowing what is priority and what is not priority. These days people take non-priority as priority. Most important thing has to do with, brother, is that chicken halal? Is that beef halal? To the extent they go to a Muslim's house, their Muslim brother or sister buying food, cooking it, presenting in front of them, they say, is this chicken halal? They dare to ask their host that. It is completely against Islam, completely against Sunnah. When poison was offered to the Prophet ﷺ, to Hazrati Umar, I believe, he took it. They don't say now whether, is this halal? Is poison halal or haram? Of course it's haram. But now they are saying, you see, now this is adab. We're entering into adab. They're concerned about that, as if all of Shariat, all of Islam, all of Tariqat, all of Ma'rifat is whether the eating is halal or haram. Don't you know we're living in a whole kingdom of shaitan and dajjal now? Everything we touch is almost everything is haram. Do you understand that? Yeah, but I like to eat zabiha. Go eat. So many of these places, well, there are some, of course, not all of them. There are some very good ones. But I look at so many of these places, they're very dirty. They are not done properly in the name of Islam. You think zabiha in the name of Islam is just for a man to say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim and cut? That's what they take zabiha to mean, just to say Bismillah Allahu Akbar and cut. That is not what zabiha means. Like that, even a machine can do it. Oh, it's already in existence. You have factories with a machine saying Bismillah Allahu Akbar and chickens passing through and cutting their necks. And Muslims feeling very proud. I'm eating zabiha. You eating supermarket. No good. Haram. I'm eating halal because it's Bismillah Allahu Akbar. But a machine is saying that. Believe me, look up. You will know that. But that's for another topic. We'll speak about that because it's very sensitive in these days. Food has become such a sensitive topic. Allahu Akbar. So there are certain things that are priority. And there are certain things that are not so priority. If you raise your own chickens, like we do, raise your own animals, of course we're going to run to do that. But the awliya Allah, they make things easy because they know what is priority. If the ship is sinking, is not priority what you wear when you're swimming in the ocean. You understand? People are choosing, oh, should I wear green and black or red and black? Yeah, you're going to be swimming in the ocean. Who cares? No. I must look good when I'm swimming. Who knows who's going to see me? Ship is sinking. You're still deciding what to wear? Allahu Akbar. What is important now? What is priority now? So, awliya Allah, they say, in these holy months, you cannot sit and make the seclusion the old way. Make intention to make the seclusion. Intention, after all, is the most important thing, isn't it? Niyat. The best time now, like Shaykh Efendi has said for us for years, between Asr and Maghrib of this month, and next month and the next month, 3 holy months, Rajab, Shaban and Ramazan, between Asr and Maghrib, don't run around so much, especially for those who can do it. Don't run around so much. Free yourself from the world. Sit down at least for 10, 20 minutes, half an hour. If you cannot, 5 minutes, sit down without any interruption and say, I want to be now with my Lord. Nawaitu arba'in, now to uzlana, to khalwan, to riyada. You're going to say, Nawaitu suluk. You're going to make that dua, the Naqshbandi dua, you will get the reward. Inshallah. See how they make it easy? Who is doing that? Try that. Sit down and say, I just want to be. Don't say, no, I'm always with my Lord. We know who we are with. So, pick yourself a nice spot somewhere. Sit down in your home. Doesn't matter. Oh, you are working that time? Then, before you go to sleep, make intention. Ya Rabbi, I'm such a weak one. I just want to sit here for 5 minutes to be with you and to remember you. In your weakness, you fall asleep. In your fighting, you fall asleep. When you're fighting, that action becomes very beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because he's seeing his weak little creature is fighting with himself, trying to serve him. It's like you see your little kid, small little kid, so young, and is really forcing himself for your sake to do something. That time, are you going to see his faults? No, you're going to see his effort. And your heart is going to love him. That time, Allah will brag to the angels now. Look, my little servant. Which the angels, they thought it is so easy. And they don't understand why mankind is disobeying Allah. Then Allah challenged them, and 2 angels are sent, Harut and Marut, into this world, and they're given the ego and the nafs, and the shaitan and the hawa and the dunya and everything, and they did not pass so good. So make that intention, inshallah, for these 3 holy months, then it'll be okay. وَمِنَ اللَّهُ tawfiq. May Allah accept our worship. May Allah forgive us. May Allah make us to become stronger. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala remove all nazar from us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala strengthen our jama'at. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make our hearts to be filled with light and with sincerity. And may all the strength and the cure and the power come to our Sultan al-Awliya Shaykh Maulana Muhammad Nazim al-Haqqani. May He grant more cure and strength to him. May Allah raise the station of our Shaykh Sahibul Saif for him to grant us more and more help and support in these days. Wa min Allahu tawfiq. Al-Fatiha. Amin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Okay. Ask questions if you have. If I have answer, I'll give.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Why do I feel distant continuously? Once I do my work, I feel that my Shaykh is satisfied with me. Then again, I feel distant, again and again. It's a pattern repeating every month. Why?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Why? Don't you know why in tariqat it is forbidden to ask that? Why? Maybe that's why. Because you're always asking, why? No. You feel something wrong, you're going to say, Astaghfirullah. Meaning you point the finger to you. Understand? Yes, you do something good, you feel connected to your Shaykh. You don't do something good, you feel disconnected. Is there a mystery why you're disconnected when you don't do something for the work of your Shaykh? Because you're not doing something for the work of your Shaykh. Keep your Shaykh alive in your heart. It's not to just, pretend he's next to you or you're talking to him like a crazy person. No. It is now, if Shaykh Efendi is here, would I sit like this? Would I speak these words? Would I be angry with my father, my mother, my son, my daughter, my husband, my wife this way? Would I wear something like this? Would I be busy? If Shaykh Efendi is here right now, you're always checking yourself. Oh, no, I wouldn't do. If he's here, I'd act differently. Then say, Astaghfirullah. Ya Rabbi, I'm a weak one. May I get more strength to be able to conduct my life as if my Shaykh is here. And he is there, of course. This is training us for taqwa, to know that Allah is watching us. Holy Prophet ﷺ is watching us. Not when He's not watching, we do one thing. When He's watching, we do another thing. He's watching us 24 hours, but we are very weak. We cannot now take that look 24 hours. We're going to go crazy. So Allah making it easier for us. Why? Don't ask why. Ask yourself why. When you do your work, your Shaykh is satisfied with you. Meaning what? When you do something good, to know it is coming from Allah. It's not coming from you, it's coming from Allah. That time you do something good, you say what? Alhamdulillah. When you don't do something good, it's coming from where? From Allah? No, it's coming from your nafs. That means there's something wrong with you, and you're going to say Astaghfirullah. So, yes, then be busy with your Shaykh. Be busy with doing his work. Then that time, even if your whole life is not 100% in the way of tariqat, but you are doing something continuously for the sake of Allah, for the sake of Shaykh Efendi, for the sake of tariqat, then it will be okay. It will clean up all the rest of the things. This pattern will continuously go to repeat until you settle down and you know what you're doing and when you're doing and why you are doing. Why you are doing. Somebody used to ask me, why? Oh, how? So, may it be easy, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Evet.
Is it permissible to be a loner, hermit, I find that associating with non-Muslims, non-Muslims and Wahhabis to be bad for my spirituality. Mosques in my area are Wahhabi. I'm lonely, but dunya talk at the masjids is getting me down.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Come here, have tea with us. Why you have to be over there? You have to have a Jamaat. Allah is Ya Jami, the one who collects. Ahad is not given for man. Ahad and Wahid, to be alone, to be one, is not given to man. It's only the characteristic of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Jami. Yes. Jami, it is the one who gathers. So you have to be in Jamaat. And it is an order by the Holy Prophet ﷺ for the believers to be in Jamaat. That doesn't mean now you're in Jamaat 24 hours, you're going to be with someone. No, you can be alone. You can be in the middle of a crowd, you can be alone. Privacy is something else. To be a loner, a hermit is something else. What's the use of being a loner or a hermit if your heart is not connected to Allah? You understand? So, yes, but in this situation you want to be by yourself because what the jama'ats out there, they're not too good. They're either Wahhabi or this or that. For that we say it's recommended then. Be by yourself. But you are never alone. You can turn on that computer, you can see me. You can talk to me if you want. You can call me. You can call us. We are a Jamaat. We have Jamaats all over the world. And they are deeply connected. So, you can have that. Then that time it doesn't matter. If you are thousands of miles away by yourself, you'll be connected to us. And that time you will feel that you are connected. And that time you're going to feel you are more lonely. Because you discover now, oh, I have a family now. Before I thought I was alone, now I have a family and I want to come to my family. May Allah make it easy for you. Assalamu alaikum. Ashka.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Even Hazrat Umar radiallahu anh was suspicious about his iman. Asked the question to Hazrat Huzaifa radiallahu anh many times, whom Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave the list of munafiqs. How we, in tariqat, our murid brothers, can be sure about their iman.
Good. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. You can never be sure. If you're always checking your faith and you're saying, my faith is lacking, it is not complete, it is wrong, I'm a munafiq today, that time your station will continuously rise. Once you say, no, I'm a believer, that time shaitan will enter. Because Hazrat Umar, yes, he was not only suspicious of his faith, let me tell you, this is something that Shaykh Efendi, Hazrat Lari has said so many times. Holy Prophet ﷺ gave a list of the munafiqs, of the believers, inside the community, inside the Sahabi Kiram, to one Sahabi, Hazrat Huzaifa, and told him, don't say this list to anyone. Don't tell it to anyone. So Holy Prophet ﷺ passed. The first person to come to ask him if he's on the list was Hazrat Umar. Hazrat Umar, that the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, if there is going to be a prophet after me, it will be Umar. Hazrat Umar that stood up, shielding the Holy Prophet ﷺ against the arrows and the blades and the swords and everything. Hazrat Umar who sacrificed everything in the way of Allah and the way of the Prophet ﷺ. Hazrat Umar, that when Holy Prophet passed, he nearly lost his cool. I'm not going to be disrespectful to say he nearly lost his mind. Okay? But he got very emotional. It's not just he got emotional because Prophet passed. He also got very emotional because there's so many munafiqs. And when Prophet passed, they say, you see, he's not a real Prophet. How can a Prophet do this? He's dead, he's dead, he's dead, he's dead. It's finished, everything is finished, everything is going to be a disaster. Didn't they say that about our way? And that's when he took out his sword and he said, anyone who says that he's dead, I'm going to cut your neck off. It's not just because, oh, he's so emotional, he can't take the reality of it. But because there's so many fitna makers around that they take that opportunity now to destroy the community. That's when Hazrat Abu Bakr, then the most Halim and Salim, the one who cannot even lead prayer because he'll always recite Quran and start crying and crying and crying continuously, and the Jamaat couldn't continue praying. That even his own daughter said to the Prophet ﷺ, do you think it's a good idea for my father to be leading the namaz? Because he's very soft-hearted. When he recites the Quran, he starts crying uncontrollably for a long time. And that Halim and Salim once stood up like a lion and saying to Hazrat Umar, be soft, be quiet, Ya Umar, be still. And this is Hazrat Umar, whose love for the Prophet is complete. First one to come up to Hazrat Huzaifa and say, please tell me, am I on that list of munafiqs? Sincerely he was doing it, which means what? He was questioning his faith. He was questioning his deeds. He was questioning his allegiance, his bayat to the Prophet. He was looking. He was not saying, oh, Alhamdulillah, I did so many good things. I did the zikr, I did this, and I did this. No. Like so many murids, they are high level, subhanallah. They think they enter into a Rabbani stage. This is Hazrat Umar, who asked Hazrat Huzaifa. Hazrat Huzaifa didn't give him an answer. But he watched. If there was a janazah of a Sahabi, if Hazrat Huzaifa goes to that janazah, then everybody knows that Sahabi, that companion, he is sincere. If there's a janazah, somebody died and Hazrat Huzaifa doesn't attend, then they know that one is a munafiq. But Hazrat Umar questioned. Don't be, if we should be, how can we, our murid brothers, can be sure of their iman? The idea is not to be sure of your iman. What does it mean to be sure of your iman? The idea, the practice, is to look at your faith and to question your faith, to question your iman. The way Hazrat Umar questioned his iman. The way that he questioned his deeds. The way that we are looking and say, today, what did I do? Don't talk about questioning your iman. Majority not even questioning what they did today in the name of Allah, what they did today in the name of their ego. The meditation, tafakkur, it is important in our way. How many now, sitting down before you go to sleep, 5 minutes to say, what did I do today? Did I do this for the sake of Allah? Did I do this for the sake of the ego? Did I do this for the sake of the nafs? Did I do this for the sake of shaitan? How many of us are doing that? If you're doing that, always you're going to be questioning and you're always going to be scared. And if you are scared of slipping down, what do? Do you let go? If you are holding on to a rope and you're scared that you're going to slip down and be lost forever, what do? You hold on tighter. You don't let go. So that's the time you're going to hold on tighter. Yes. If you hold on tighter and you're trying to make your today better than yesterday and tomorrow better than today, that time we will be in Sirat al-Mustaqim. What we talked about yesterday, Ihdina Sirat al-Mustaqim. Keep in. Are we in Sirat al-Mustaqim? Yes, alhamdulillah. Are we considering ourselves believers in the Sirat al-Mustaqim? No. Is that our aim to become believers? Yes. Is it our aim to become Muslims, those who submit everything? Yes. It is our aim. Are we following believers? Yes. Are we following awliyaullah? Yes. Are we following the Prophet ﷺ? Yes. Are we in Sirat al-Mustaqim? Yes. Then relax. Relax. It'll be okay that time, inshallah. If you concentrate and checking yourself, am I deviating even slightly out of the Sirat al-Mustaqim? I have to come back. Deviating, I have to come back. Stay on this way. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Give the tea.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Why is love put in your heart for people you do not want to love? My situation is really complicated. I love someone a certain way and I do not wish to love them that way, but I cannot help it. I want to get rid of this because it affects me strangely and I do not like it. But how can I get rid of this if they are in the way of Allah? When you're supposed to love those who are in the way of Allah. It's so difficult to understand why this has happened.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Yes. Well, it is, don't confuse a feeling and an overwhelming feeling and an obsessive feeling and a feeling that makes you feel strongly for love. Don't. That is not love. You say, how can I love a bad person? I can't help it, but I fall in love with him or with her. If you do that, if you fall in love with him or her, to know that that is not love. That is not the love of Allah. That feeling is coming from your ego and is coming from shaitan. You understand? You are supposed to love only those whom Allah loves. But if a man loves himself and says, I can't help it, that is not real love. That is false love, and there's a love that is going to lead you to hellfire. What are you going to do to get rid of this? What are you going to do if you're sick? You visit a doctor. What do? You just visit? No, you're going to take the medicine. No matter how much it's going to hurt you. If the medicine is not going to work so much, you may go for what? Surgery. You have to trust the knife of the doctor at that time. You cannot say, why is this man so cruel cutting me up? He's a surgeon. If you believe that that is evil and that is wrong. If you don't believe it is wrong, then do as you like. But if your faith is stronger than this feeling, than this sickness, that's not without any reason that people say this love is a sickness. Even the ancient Greeks, they say this love, it is a sickness because you get sick. So you have to find yourself a doctor then. Then go under his treatment slowly. That is going to change. Believe me, it will change. And if it's difficult, if it's taking such a long time for you to change and it's still there, but you are stepping on it and you're stepping in your egoistic love, to know that your Allah is watching you, His Prophet is watching you, and is seeing you suffer, and one day it's going to end. And the reward that you're going to get from this will be more than those ones who are not carrying this. You understand? So, we are believers. We are not living for this world. We are living for the Akhirat. Meaning, who cares whether we have happiness or sorrow or love or hate in this world? The way that the world defines what is happiness and love and hate and sorrow, we are looking to what Allah and His Prophet defines as love, as happiness, as hate and as sorrow. To the eyes of the world, the prophets, they are people who live very miserable lives. But to the eyes of the believers, they are living the most beautiful life. So now which side you're going to be on? Choose. May Allah make it easy for you. Find a doctor. Submit to his cure. Be patient. And more than that, believe. Believe in Allah and believe in His judgment. And Allah will not leave you. This world will leave you. Your senses will leave you. Your intelligence will leave you. Your feelings will leave you. Your body is going to leave you. And everyone is going to leave you. No matter how much you love them or they love you, when you die, they put you underground. Never forget that. And they leave you. They don't take you and hug you and keep you in their bed. They know to dig a hole quickly and to put you underground and to cover and to walk away. Who is never going to leave you? Allah and His Prophet and the awliya Allah. So learn how to shift your love to the proper ones. Then that time the real feeling will come out. Maybe you're not going to get the real feeling here in this world. Never mind. So what? This world is going to end anyway. We're looking to something that is not going to end. You're going to get it from the other side. Fatiha. Amin. Assalamu alaikum. Ashkar.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Shall I continue to be with you? Is it possible to be with your company? I'm anxiously waiting for Lokman Efendi and you to come here. I feel deeply touched listening your murid's visit to New York Dergahi, as same as when I was in Kaaba Sharif. Hard to explain my feelings. I feel very strong that we'll be in Cyprus all together.
Amin. Inshallah. Soon, inshallah. Until that time, there's a lot of preparation. A lot of preparation. You have to be ready now. We can't wait for our Shaykh to come back. But I'm not so stupid. I'm stupid, but I'm not so stupid to think that I just want him to come back without any preparation on my part. I have to prepare. What am I going to prepare? I'm going to finish the job that he has left me with, inshallah. To do the job, to do it well, that's a preparation. Then that time when he comes, it's good. Yeah, he's going to come, but there's no guarantee he's going to be happy with me or you. If you're not doing your work, if you're being a bad murid, you think he's going to be happy? No. So the idea is for him to be happy. So we have to prepare. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Say.
I have heard you say that women fall very fast and climb stations very fast.
Yes.
I agree with you on that.
Oh,
women have very loose tongues and we tend to complain more.
Yeah.
How is it possible to control your tongue and how can you guard your station? And if you fall and you feel that you have fallen, how do you work back to it to feel peace?
Good. So how do you keep your tongue? You keep your tongue by not talking too much. How are you not going to talk too much? When you talk, think. What did I say? Did I really say that? Where did my words reach? What kind of harm did they cause? Then slowly, you'll come to that situation where you are actually going to what? Think before you speak. That is a big miracle now. Huh? If women start to think before they speak, what jewels will come out from their mouth. In these days, men are doing worse too. Don't say the women's. Then you're going to think carefully before you speak. Then that time, whenever you speak, people are going to listen. When you speak, you're going to ask for medet, not just medet and do something, but really looking. This is tafakkur. Tafakkur is reviewing your life, your day, reviewing your work, your words, and what did you say? How did you say? Not to be satisfied and say, oh, I did very good. But no, even if you did good, to say, I can do better. Even if you did good, you're going to say, I can do better, and I did this. It's not perfect. Nothing is perfect. Then that time, what does it have? What does it make you do? It makes you to improve yourself. You improvise, you improve yourself more and more. So, how is it possible to control your tongue? And how you can guard your station? You control your tongue by not responding. First, have patience. Just because something is poking you, you don't have to kick back. Then be patient. Sit. Before responding, think. That time, whatever that you have acquired, you're not going to fall. If you have fallen by tongue, and here is very general, because if you're 7 years old, it's different. If you're 17 years old, woman, it's different. If you're a married woman, it's different. If your mother is different. If your grandmother is different. Now we're just speaking generally, easily. If you feel that you have fallen, what do? Meaning you made a mess, right? If you make a mess, what do? You clean up. You clean up your mess. If you say something and you shouldn't have said it to that person or to that group or something, clean up your mess. You're going to go and you're going to say, Astaghfirullah, I said this. Or you're going to do something better than that. You're not just going to say, which these days words are cheap. I'm sorry, I did everything wrong. I'm such a bad person, in public saying it. Hoping for what? For everyone to say, oh, poor, whatever your name is. MashaAllah, how humble. No, you're still making a show because you're doing it in public. Instead of saying now, you do something. You make a mess, now clean it up. Then that time, you'll be okay. In these days, it is important now to see who you harm. Be careful who you harm. Especially in the Dergah, you don't know who is the Dergah in the Dergah who has closer one to Allah, closer one to the Shaykh, closer one to the Prophet ﷺ. You have to guard each other's hearts. Oh, but in murids these days, they rip each other's hearts to pieces and they throw it to the ground. You're going to watch each other's hearts, because in this way they say it's better for you to destroy the Kaaba than to destroy your heart. But at the same time, Shaykh Efendi says he's not going to let anyone to say, oh, you broke my heart. You did this and you broke my heart. No, the Shaykh can say, you did this, this, this. But you cannot say, just because you do something wrong, you put a cup wrongly and somebody says, I think I saw one time somebody put it right like that, because he's shy to say, do it like this and like this, which in these cases, murids are not having manners to. They give orders to each other. And that one gets very hurt because he's being corrected and saying, you broke my heart. No, please. Wake up to yourself. We must wake up to ourselves. And when you are in training now, that time you put the heart aside. Like when you enter into the army, you put the heart aside. You're not going to go now to your sergeant, you yell at me. I'm very upset with you. Why? Why you have to yell at me? No, you cannot. Now we're in training. Now you have to know there is work, and sometimes the way that it is said to you will give you that energy to do your work. You go into war, you cannot say, brother, please, you see that enemy is coming to us? If you're free, I don't want to force you, shoot. No, you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that to the enemy inside of you too. You understand? So, may it be easy for you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Tamam. Bashka.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Last question.
Yes.
In times of struggle, what advice do you give about keeping patience? I'm in a great struggle and wonder how weak I am that I complain when I have nothing to complain about. I'm away from my home and struggling greatly. How can I ask for medet for patience?
Patience. Okay. Patience. Don't only think that patience, it is just a thought, a theory. Okay? Patience is also an action. Sabr is not just to say, okay, I sit down, I become sabr. Oh, I'm so sabr because I'm sitting down. No, you get impatient, you get upset, you get this. Maybe instead of feeling angry, now you're going to clean your room, bake a cake, go help other people, do something. You understand? You're away from your home and you're struggling a lot. Now keep yourself busy. Keep yourself busy in the way of Allah. Find something for the way of Allah. Because you can keep yourself busy with, for example, like I said, cleaning your room or baking a cake. But how long is that going to last, right? But if you're busy with the work of Allah, and the work of Allah never ends now. Say, for example, I'm very far away from my home. I'm following Shaykh Efendi. I'm always alone. And now I have all this time. Shaitan is bothering me. My ego is bothering me. I'm complaining a lot. I'm not going to sit there to feel bad about things. I'm going to find something to do. What do I like to do? Now, for example, I like to make calligraphy, for example. We just draw Islamic things. We cannot say we're a calligrapher. We're not calligrapher. We're drawing, we're copying things. Oh, that makes me feel good. And it's something Islamic. And maybe I can do it and give it a present to my Shaykh or to some murid. Do it. Keep yourself busy. Then that time, you will find a solution to your problem coming through very unexpected ways. Or you say, I don't like to do that. What do I want to do? Let me transcribe something. Shaykh Efendi's sohbats. Let me set up a website. Let me talk to my friends. Let me. There's so many things that you can do. So, patience is not a passive state. It is a very active condition. Be active in the way of Allah and His Prophet. At that time, you'll not only be patient, but you'll be offering Hizmat. And when you offer Hizmat, the rahmat that comes with it may be more than ibadat. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah forgive me and bless all of you for the sake of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant a cure to our grand Shaykh, complete recovery and more strength. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant high station to our Lord, to our Master, let's say our Lord and our Master, our Shaykh, our Sahib will say, Shaykh Abdulkerim Kibrisi Rabbani, may He send His support to us. And all the wrong things that we have done, we're asking for Allah to forgive us. We are very weak creatures. Everything that we're doing is wrong. And we're asking for forgiveness and we're asking for strength to become better. For the sake of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, his family, his companions, Al-Fatiha. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Have a good day. I'll see you soon.